time and time again.
Yo, what's going on, people? Your boy Man Mike coming at you guys with a quick little take. Want to kind of get these things in real quick is before Coach gets on and do his thing. So y'all head over to Coach Unchained um and get ready for his draft takes. He got quite a few draft takes that he's gonna he got quite a few draft takes that he's gonna talk about as far as the draft picks is concerned. So just gonna do a real quick Q&A, you guys. Won't be particularly long. I'm gonna do more takes like this throughout the next couple of weeks or so. Because like I said, the draft is right around the corner. We got WrestleMania tonight, so and I hope you guys are ready for that. Because I am ready for it. But like I said, what's going on, Fresh? A quick Q&A right now. As you probably see on the screen, a lot of people are still kind of confused as far as the draft is concerned. In regards to what the Atlanta Falcons are going to do, I think there's a topic at hand that a lot of people really don't want to speak on. And let's just be honest. A lot of people just so fixated on the fact that the Falcons have to build a defense. Yeah, the Falcons got to build a defense. And we got so many people that's in their damn feelings because guess what? The Falcons might draft a wide receiver. The Falcons might draft a running back. The Falcons might draft the offensive lineman. The Falcons might draft the damn tight end. The Falcons might get your boy Michael Penix another weapon. That does not make Falcons fans feel good. It feels good. No, it don't feel good. All right. I'm gonna say this because I had quite a few people on a video, and I'm gonna answer these. I'm gonna answer these questions as soon as I pull it up because I want to get it exactly, perfectly right. It feels good. Yeah, it feels good. Because I made a video on Travis Etienne, okay? And I'll just answer this. And like I said, it's so funny to me that people freak the fuck out. That like y'all freak the fuck out as soon as somebody say bring up something that not defense or not Georgia or not a damn defensive end, a defensive tackle. Like y'all freak the fuck out. Okay, so I'm gonna just read a few of them. Like I said, this won't be a particularly long because, like I said, we got Culture and Chain that's coming up at 11 on Culture and Chain. All right, we got that. After we address all other positions of need, hell yeah, get Travis Etienne, which is like I'm gonna just keep going. Smitty said if they run, Smitty's Sports Machine, if they run a running back by committee with 3 backs, then yes, excellent third down back. Address the needs on defense and the center position first. And if he's still on the board, I don't see why not. If he can stay healthy, there's Meat Washington, and you got someone else that said, does he possibly get a running back 2? In a 3 running back scheme. I believe Etienne will be in the 7th because of injuries last year. Yeah, someone else said that we're trading Bijan and Tyler Algier now. As somebody else said, to replace Algier. Honestly, I can see past the defensive needs right now, and by the time I feel we should address offensive ones, Etienne will probably be gone. And we got another one. Running back is not a need unless we don't keep Algier. So I'm just gonna say this. And I've been ready to, like I said, won't be a particularly long, probably go about 15, 20 minutes. All right. So, because we got Coach Unchained coming up at 11 o'clock, but I just wanted to kind of get out there. I'm getting all pretty and sexy for the WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? So, this got finished washing my hair. Yeah, honey, I've been washing my hair. I cut my hair. Your boy, man, Mike is a barber too. I've been doing it ever since I was 19 years old. So yeah, I wanted to go earlier and speak on this, but Hanny, I'm talking about it now. So this is what I really want to talk about. This is a comment that, like, it's two things that really bother me when I say this. Hanny. All right. So Michael, love you to death. But this is a comment that I see all the time. All right. It said we trading Bijan Robinson and Tyler here. Why in the hell do we always have to get rid of people because we draft somebody? It's called investing in your quarterback. Okay? Why do we have to always get rid of people? How about people will want to leave on their own? What is the job of I love you, Mike. You know it. But this is not you. This is not towards you. I get you. But it's not towards you. I see this comment all the time. And a lot of times when we speak on certain comments, it really isn't directly towards us. You say something incredibly dumb, it's not directed towards you. But we see these comments all the time. But we've been trying to prepare people for the possibility of Tyler Allgeier not being there. You got to account for the possibility that Jace McClellan may not be that guy. We have to account for the fact that Bijan Robinson, he may have an issue at some point with whatever the case. God forbid his injury. But you have to take account for all of these things. And this is the job of a GM. You cannot stop because you got Bijan Robinson. You can't stop drafting and bringing in players because you got Drake London. You can't stop bringing in players because you have a Chris Lindstrom and a Caleb McGarry. You got to keep going. This is the job of a GM. You don't stop bringing in talent and looking at talent because you already got talent. You have to account for things in football to happen. We go back to the year after the Super Bowl. Year after Super Bowl, how many we look at the defensive side of the ball? Maybe in 2 years, but I'm not exactly sure if it was 17 to 18, but I believe it was 18 if I'm not mistaken. But the Atlanta Falcons had almost what? I think it was like 4 defensive starters go out because of injuries. They went out because of injuries. We lost a lot of players. These things in football happen. So just because we have Bijan Robinson, just because we have certain guys, doesn't mean we got to stop bringing in talent and bringing in the NFL right now. We literally just saw 2 teams fundamental this shit all the way up to the Super Bowl. Let me say that it is. We had the Kansas City Chiefs who checked the ball down, ran the ball, used Patrick Mahomes' ability to scramble, ability to improvise, and they played solid defense. And then you have the Philadelphia Eagles. They ran the ball almost 500 times with one player. This is just one player that they did this with. They did this with one player. They ran the ball down everybody's throat, and they asked Jalen Hurts to just don't fuck it up. So why would the Atlanta Falcons, because they have Tyler Algier, they have Bijan Robinson, why would they just stop with that? The quarterback position in the NFL is probably as bad as it can get, which leads me to this. Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins. I wholeheartedly understand why the Atlanta Falcons want to at some point, which brings me to the next point when we talk about Michael Penix. You have to account for the fact that he's going to struggle. Let me say this again. You have to account for the fact that he may struggle as a quarterback. And what do you do then? If the quarterback struggles, what do you do? Because if the quarterback is struggling, you're going to have to rely on who? Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. And let's just say one of those guys get it, and Michael Penix just goes into an absolute repeat of what we saw out of Kirk Cousins. It's possible. He's young. He's a young quarterback. He's still learning the NFL game. So these things are possible. These things are possible. Okay? It's possible. So we can't assume that Tyler Algier is going to be here. Why? Because he's going into his final year of his contract. He could be gone next year. Which brings me to the title at hand. The video at hand, and that's Trevor Etienne, and the guy that fits Michael Penix. He fixed what the Atlanta Falcons are doing with Bijan Robinson. Not to say that Tyler Algier isn't a wonderful player and is a great player in his own right, but you have to account for the fact that he may be gone next year. And we can't just stop trying to bring in running backs and players because we assume that Tyler Algier and we assume that Bijan Robinson is just everything gonna be perfectly right with those guys. You can't assume that. And this is the problem. And this is one of the reasons why guys like Trevor Etienne is going to be one of those guys. I don't care. Look, all these people talking about, oh, he hurt and this and this. Look, this happened to every running back. This happened to, for one, go back and look at Saquon Barkley in New York. That's one of the main reasons why they got rid of him. Yeah, he was a wonderful player, but he had a lot of issues with knees and all types of hamstring. The dude he had a lot of injuries, especially at the running back position. So when it all come down to it, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, you can't assume that these guys are going to stay healthy 100%. We can pray to the Lord that these guys are going to stay healthy, but there's no guarantee that they're going to stay healthy. And then the second point, we can't assume that Michael Penix is just going to come out and he's going to throw for 4,000, 5,000 yards in a season. We can't assume that. We got to have a plan as a general manager. If Michael Penix, if he struggles for whatever reason, we cannot stop bringing in offensive linemen. We cannot stop bringing in another running back that can step in for a Tyler Algier or a Bijan Robinson or Jace McClellan, whatever the case may be. We have to continue to give these quarterbacks and quarterback Kirk Cousins, who may be the backup for the Atlanta Falcons, especially how things are going right now, especially how he's sitting up here telling organizations he'll waive his no-trade clause. He'll waive his no-trade clause after the draft. Like, we have to assume the absolute worst scenario as well as the best scenario. Okay? And this is what the general manager and what a guy like Terry Fontenot, what's going on, Jude, is he's living up to. Like that, this is his job. You can't assume that everything is going to be exactly perfectly right. We can't assume that the Atlanta Falcons running back core is going to stay healthy all year long. We can pray and we can hope, but we have to take into account that Michael Penix may struggle. We've seen a veteran guy that's made well over $300 million and Kirk Cousins struggle. So it's not out of the possibility that a guy like Michael Penix may struggle. And when you have a struggling player, especially a quarterback in this instance, you have to do one thing: go back to the basics. And going back to the basics is short passes and lean on that offensive line and lean on that running game, which leads me back to the exact same point. We got to bring in a guy that fits the system. And when I look at Trevor Etienne, he's a guy that fits the scheme. We're not bringing him in, okay? Let me say something before I kind of wind it down, because Coach is actually on right now. So after I'm done with this take right here, y'all head over to AFN and check out Coach Unchained. But when you look at the quarterback position and you look at the Atlanta Falcons, you have to account, and this is why guys like Andy Reid, Sean Payton, like it doesn't matter what quarterback, they can get the best out of the quarterback. Why? It's because they prepare for every scenario. They have a play call and a game plan for every scenario, which is one of the reasons why I look at Raheem Morris and I want to punch his damn shiny chiclets through his gums. It's because he knows this. And he won't push the right buttons on time. He knows this. Raheem is intelligent. He's a good coach. But he knows better than this. He knows better than sit back and watch this man throw 10 interceptions and 1 touchdown. He knows better than this. You have to prepare for every situation. Okay? Have to prepare for every situation. Every situation. You can't assume that everything is going to go exactly perfectly right. Which you always say, if you're going to win games, you got to make sure that you have all the right players in the right positions. And one of those positions in the NFL, okay, is the running back positions. Why? Because they are by extension, they are part of the trenches. They are a part of the offensive line. The blocking, the catching the ball out of the backfield, similar to tight ends and tight ends. Look, they pretty much do the exact same thing. They have to understand protection. They have to understand all this. They have to be able to chip. They have to be able to read their blocks. They have to be able to block. So the running back is an important position. You can't just because there's some quality guys, and I'm not saying that the Falcons should just go out and draft Trevor Etienne, but when I look at him and what Michael Penix needs as a quarterback, I think he needs an all-around back that's going to be able to not only block out of the backfield, be able to run those zone, inside, outside zone schemes. He's going to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. He needs to be able to split out wide so Michael Penix can get the ball out of his hand quickly, and it leads to another weapon. These are the things about this offense that's going to change, that has changed under Michael Penix, because not only Michael Penix can throw the ball, but he can run. So you need your running back to be able to do certain things, to block, to catch the ball out of the backfield. All right? And you need to be able to showcase his athleticism. Like, this team just got more athletic because you have a more athletic quarterback that can throw the ball. So you need players around him that can do a multitude of things. And then again, you have to assume that a guy like Tyler Algier is not going to be here. As a general manager, you have to assume that the guy is not going to be here, and you have to have his replacement in hand and on deck. Okay? We don't want to be in another position where we scraping and scraping and trying to goddamn replace a Julio Jones and trying to replace a Calvary and trying to replace a Matt Ryan. We don't want to be in that position again. We already in this position trying to find players. We did it for a guy like Grady Jarrett. We got 2 or 3 guys that's ready to step in and replace Grady Jarrett. So we have to do the exact same thing for a guy like Tyler Algier. Because there's no guarantee that Jason McCullen is that guy. I think he's going to be a good running back when he gets his opportunity, but you have to account for all of these. So, again, head over to Coach Unchained, man. He's on right now. Like I said, I'm going to do more Q&As to a lot of y'all questions on this for the next couple of weeks or so. So, y'all, look, please leave your comments. I will do more live like this. Y'all leave your comments, all right? Do more videos, do more live like this. So, with that being said, Timothy, Jew Talk Sports, I appreciate it. James DeRucco, the NFL season is 17 games. Kirk is done for looking elsewhere. He's going to get an opportunity to start at some point during the season. Yeah, James, like as far as Kirk Cousins is concerned, like he can eat the biggest sausage possible, okay? And I'll just leave it at that. I'm trying to be as PG as I possibly can because he's just a selfish prick at this moment. A guy that made $300 million and you still trying to you're trying to, at this particular point, manipulate the system when you've made $300 million. I feel the way I feel about Kirk Cousins the same way I feel about Aaron Rodgers. These guys are selfish bums. They are selfish bums. At this point, why are you still concerned about young quarterbacks? I don't want to go to a team that has a young quarterback. That's selfish. You've made it, bro. You made $300 million. Most quarterbacks can't even make $30 million in a fucking career. You made $300 million. Yet you still up here trying to manipulate the system. Man, Kirk Cousins can eat the biggest fat elephant dong ever, okay? Get out of here. Let me go before I say something. I'm going a whole nother rant on Kirk Cousins. Like I said, man. But I appreciate it, James. Like I said, I'm gonna do more videos like this because, like I said, man, these it's getting closer and closer to the end of the season, the draft, excuse me. But to have a guy like Kirk Cousins doing what he's doing, he doesn't want to be here in Atlanta. Like, let's keep it real. He had been planning this all along. As soon as the Atlanta Falcons drafted that man, he knew. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it came out that he, sabotaged the Atlanta Falcons because you see it right now. He's telling team that he'll drop his no trade clause after the draft. That tells you he don't want to train and he don't want to be a good teammate. So all these people are talking about Kirk Cousins is a good guy. Look, y'all can go to HELL, okay? LLL. Y'all can go to absolute hell. This dude is not a good guy, okay? He's a selfish prick. Okay? The actions speak louder than words. The actions speak louder than this bull crap that Raheem and everybody that don't know, Kate is my best friend. I'm sure he is your best friend. But right now, he been a selfish prick. $300 million, you still up here saying, no, you 37 years old. Your career is dwindling down, and you still up here trying to act like you still 25. Okay, get out of here. Head over to head over to Coach Unchained. He's live right now, so you guys check that out. This has been your boy Matt Mike with another Atlanta Falcons Q&A session. Keep leaving those comments below. And like I said, I'll do these 20 to 25 live. So with that being said, AFN, Coach Unchained, go over there, subscribe, join the conversation. And that's the bottom line, because Mad Mike said so. Peace.